Welcome to Sysco's Virtual Kitchen, Healthcare and Senior Living Edition. I'm Christine Romano, Healthcare Marketing Lead for Sysco Canada. And today, we're excited to have Campbell joining us on the show. Jaclyn Curry, Registered Dietitian, and Chef Gerald Drummond will be taking us through Campbell's real food philosophy. Chef Gerald will prepare 3 recipes that are a great fit for healthcare and senior living, and will highlight key trends such as ethnic, plant-based, and comfort foods. But first, before we turn it over to Campbell's, I'd like to introduce my co-host, Sarah Emerson. Sarah is a registered dietitian and vice president of national accounts, healthcare and senior living for Sysco Canada. Welcome, Sarah, Jaclyn, and Chef Gerald.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you so much for inviting us to be part of today's episode of Sysco Virtual Kitchen. We're really excited to be here. Just to start things off, I just wanted to highlight that Campbell's has been on a real food journey for the last few years, and we are happy to announce that we are finished phase 1 of the Real Food Update for all of the Canadian food service products that were part of this project.
Excellent. Jaclyn, can you tell us a little bit more about what this journey involved?
Yeah, so the journey involved removing to a non-BPA lining for our cans, as well as removing ingredients that were deemed undesirable by consumers. So things like high fructose corn syrup, artificial colors, artificial flavors, that sort of thing, to ensure that we had ingredients in our products that consumers could recognize and pronounce.
Excellent. What about MSG? I know it's such a controversial item.
Yes, so we have removed MSG, or added MSG, I should say, from all of our products. But of course, there are natural sources of MSG that come from mushrooms and tomatoes. So those would be in our products because they're there naturally. And then just to add on to that, we've also added ingredients to our products. So having more products that have a source of fiber or a source of iron, as well as having products that are lower in fat and saturated fat, and products more vegan and vegetarian items.
Excellent. Great. So what are you going to show us today?
So we have 3 recipes that Chef Gerald will be preparing. The first one is the chicken korma recipe, and that's being prepared with our 48-ounce cream of chicken soup. The second recipe is a chickpea and cauliflower curry, and that's being prepared with our signature pouch vegan vegetable soup. And the third recipe is a salmon tourtière, and that's being prepared with our Pepperidge Farm puff pastry sheets. And then I'll take it over to Chef Gerald for recipe number 1.
Thank you, Jaclyn. Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Gerald Drummond. I'm the executive chef for Campbell's Foodservice for North America. It's a pleasure to be with you, and I welcome you to my home studio, which is an awesome treat for you today. And it's also a pleasure for me to be able to show you 3 recipes that are very, very on trend, very flavorful, very colorful, vibrant, but more importantly, they all taste really well and they're really easy to prepare. So I'm going to take you through the first one, which is a chicken korma. Chicken korma is a very, very traditional, popular Indian dish. And it's what I'm going to be using is our Campbell's cream of chicken soup, and as well as a few other staple ingredients to just show you how versatile the cream of chicken can be in so many applications. And who would have ever thought that you could take a cream of chicken soup from Campbell's and turn it into an incredible ethnic dish. So I'm going to take you through it right now. I got a pan that's getting hot right here. I'm just going to put a little bit of oil in the bottom of it. I already pre-cooked off some onions. So I'm going to put a little bit of onions in the pan with the garlic as well. So I did that ahead of time. I'm then going to add, as I get this just going just a little bit, I'm going to add some chicken that I already put in the rub, which is a little bit of the spices. You should have the recipes for them. So you're going to have a little bit of curry, a little bit of paprika. I'm just going to put that chicken in here like this. Just stir it around a little bit. It's coming along really, really well. Yeah, it smells really good. Those spices, when they're toasted, it's really coming out really good. And I'm also going to take a little bit more of that, a little bit more garam masala and just sprinkle it in the pan just to boost it up just a little bit. I'm going to add the cream of chicken that is already condensed. This is going to give it some really good body. Just going to stir this really quick. Yeah, this smells really good. So now I'm going to add a little bit of coconut milk to this. This is what really starts to build the flavors. So we have this cream of chicken in there already. We're going to add that nice, oh, it's smelling really good. The coconut, just stir that around. I'm going to add a little bit of tomato paste. It's going to help with the color. And I'm also just going to turn this down just a little bit. Yeah, it's coming together nicely. The last thing I want to add is the frozen peas. That's going to come out. It's going to give it some really nice color. Oh, yeah. Just going to give it a little bit of pepper, a couple pieces of pepper, a little pinch of salt. As well, I'm going to give it just a little bit more coconut milk here. I basically scaled the recipe down for you because then I would have a recipe that would feed 50 people. So I did scale this particular recipe down. Now I'm just going to give it a quick taste. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to add just a little bit more of the garam masala spice to that. But it's really nice. I hope you can see this. It's really indulgent. It's rich. It's creamy, but more importantly, it's really, really flavorful. And I have a finished one here for you. And all I did was put it under a bed of basmati rice, garnish it with a little bit of cilantro. And as well as, like I said, it's a great dish. You could serve this in an a la carte setting. You could serve it in a buffet setting because it really works really well. And as you can see, it's a really great complement to the cream of chicken soup that we have. I'll leave this right here. But again, the ingredients are minimal. The spices and one of the good things about the spices in this particular ethnic dish, Indian cuisine is ranking really, really high within Canada. You know, you have that staple with the butter chicken, the tikka masala, the chicken korma is really, really popular. So you're going to start seeing these flavors become more and more household names, and as well as they're just really incredible. And the great thing about this particular dish is if you want to be a little bit more plant forward or plant healthy, you could actually substitute this for cauliflower, the chicken for cauliflower, maybe tofu. So you don't have to always go 100% meat with this. If you want to just add a little bit more vegetables into your diet, again, it's the spices, the body from the cream of chicken soup will really give it and round out those flavors really, really well for you. And again, this is the chicken korma, and it's featuring the Campbell's condensed cream of chicken.
Thanks, Chef Gerald.
Yes.
The 48-ounce cream of chicken is such a staple in the healthcare and senior living setting. We have multiple recipes available that use this, such as another new one. We have a feta and bow tie pasta bake, as well as more of a classic chicken and stuffing bake. And we've been getting more and more requests for more ethnic type cuisine from our healthcare and senior living customers. So this is a great recipe that they can add to their menus. And then the next recipe we'll be preparing is a chickpea and cauliflower curry. But before we start that, we're going to take a short commercial break.
As your valued and trusted business partner, we understand that you need the freedom and flexibility to choose the way you want to order. Sysco Source allows you to order what you need when you need it on any device. Here's how it works.
Select the order button and click on New. Choose to place your order with a customized order guide or with your order history. Click on a product and voila. All the product information that is most important to you is right at your fingertips. Find product photos, benefits, and nutritional facts, and more. Enter the exact quantity you need, then click Preview to review your order. Click Submit, and your order is instantly sent to Sysco. With Sysco's industry-leading technology, you can get real-time updates with everything happening with your orders. See your invoices and credit memos all from one place. The Source app has everything you need to easily manage all of your inventory product in the palm of your hand. And when you're ready, click Preview to review your total inventory value. Click Close Inventory to complete the work. So what are you waiting for? Start searching for product, placing an order, and managing your inventory wherever you are. Download the Source app. Sysco Source, start placing your orders with ease and confidence today.
And we're back. So Chef Gerald will now prepare the chickpea and cauliflower curry.
Thank you, Jaclyn. This one is a plant-friendly or plant-forward, great comfort dish as well. So we talked about a little bit in the first segment, the ethnic. This is also bordering on so many different trends: ethnic, comfort, and as well as plant-friendly, plant-forward. It's got great flavor. It's got depth. And again, it's got that ethnic flair to it as well. And I'm going to take you through that really quick. Again, what's great about these recipes are that they're very friendly for operators to use. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to start with a little bit of the onions again, which I pre-did the onions. I'm going to put a little bit of garlic in there. Let this go around. The garlic is browning really nice. Now I'm just going to add the cauliflower that I cut into smaller pieces because I want that to cook really nicely. Just going to put them in there like that. I am going to add a touch more oil just so I can make sure that I get the cauliflower starting to go. Okay. I'm also going to add a little bit of medium diced red pepper. We're going to turn this down just a tad. Put these two here. Going to just let this cook. And again, what do you have here? You have the cauliflower, the red pepper. So the red pepper is going to give it some sweetness. The earth is going to come from this cauliflower. Just going to add a little bit of chickpeas to this as well. Here it's sizzling really nice. This is the time I'm just going to take a little bit of black pepper, just a sprinkle of salt. Turn this down real quick. What I'm going to do, bring over the soup to get that ready because I can show you really how quick that is. Now I'm going to add the red curry. The red curry, I say be careful only because you can add the red curry depending on the spice level that you like. So if you want a little bit spicy, you can add more. If you just want to get a little bit of that back heat, then I say go ahead and add a little bit less. This is smelling really, really good. And as you can see, everything's browning nicely in the pan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of coconut milk to this now. And the reason I want to add the coconut milk now is I want to release the flavors. There you go. That's on the bottom of this pan. I'm just going to let that simmer for a quick second. Put this over here. And at this time, I'm just going to grate in a little bit of ginger to this. I like to grate the ginger because then it pretty much melts in the dish. So, and it gives it really good flavor. Ginger is going to really round this out really well. So I'm just going to let this simmer for another minute. Then I'm just going to take the soup and I'll show you the soup real quick. Just going to Pop this, soup in the pouch. Over here, grab me a quick ladle. Let this simmer down. I'm just going to add a little bit of the soup to this. Put it back on. One thing I am going to add to it is some fresh cilantro, which I love. Which I'd like to do with this is I just like to break the cilantro up, put it in there so it has really good flavor. Let that flavor release from the cilantro. I'm going to give it a quick taste. I'm going to add just a touch more of the curry, just a little bit more. I'm going to add a little bit of salt, just a touch. This one goes here. Stir in that curry. Let that simmer for a little bit. You want this to really come down so it gets a little bit more, a little bit thicker, so the flavors are going to become more well-rounded. I do have one here for you, like I say, ahead of time, and this is what it is. I use the same basmati rice that I have as a bed, and I just garnish it with a little bit of cilantro sprigs, and I did a toasted naan bread with this. It could be pita, it could be regular bread, but I just toast it with a little bit of herb on it, and here you go. This is another great example of how you can use our Campbell's products. This particular one is very health conscious, but as well as very, very flavorful. It's got light, nice, really bold flavors. All right, so you can start to really imagine that this dish, this particular soup can be spread out across so many different parts of your menu. You could add, what I love about it is it's so friendly for the operator. They can actually add protein to it, so it can become a protein recovery product. But more importantly, it's great as a soup. So here you go. We have a chickpea and cauliflower with red curry.
Thank you, Chef Gerald. Yes, this is another great example of plant-based, and it's something that, again, we are also getting more questions from our healthcare and senior living customers. What can they put on the menu that's plant-based? And here's a recipe that uses Campbell's as an ingredient. We also have the soup and an African and peanut stew, as well as a Mexican quinoa stew if they're looking for even more options that are plant-based.
Wow, my mouth is watering. That looked amazing. This is tough when it's so close to lunch. Does Campbell's have any other vegan products available?
Yes, we do. In our food service portfolio, we have over 10 vegan products, and we do have a plant-based sales sheet that really highlights all of our vegan and vegetarian options. But some popular ones within the segment are definitely our Eating Smart lentil vegetable soup, as well as our 48-ounce tomato soup.
Amazing. And wondering if Campbell's has any insight into how often consumers are eating plant-based alternatives these days.
I know in a study that we had conducted with NPD, they looked at up until February of 2019, and it was 16% of consumers regularly are consuming plant-based proteins. And of those 16%, 89% actually don't consider themselves to be vegan or vegetarian. So more of that flexitarian diet type.
Excellent. Great. Thank you. Great information.
Thank you. And then the next recipe that we have is the salmon tortillere with our Pepperidge Farm puff pastry sheets. Off to Chef Gerald.
Thank you very much. And to round you out this morning, I want to take you through an incredible salmon dish. This salmon is very flavorful. It hits also on comfort. It's got that really baked flavor where you're going to get that really nice crisp puff pastry topping. So it's similar to a really, really upscale pot pie, but don't be afraid. Salmon pot pie, I know you're familiar with chicken pot pie and beef shepherd's pie and things like that. This is a great example of how you can use the Pepperidge Farm puff pastry. What I have here for you, I love this dish because it has some of my favorite ingredients. So what I have is I have some salmon that it's already been pre-roasted. What's great is you would want to have this salmon done, if you could, the day before, so it's be a lot easier to work with. What I did was, you can see, I just flaked the salmon like this in the bowl until it's nice sized pieces. In the bowl already, I do have the dill, the parsley, I have the lemon zest, and I have salt and pepper in here as well. So I'm just flaking it up really nice and large. I don't want to flake it too much to the point where it becomes mush. Then I'm going to add some onions and garlic that I've already pre-sauteed, shallots. Shallots and garlic that's been pre-sauteed. Then I can take this off because I'm done mixing it. Then I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice to this. The lemon juice really helps to brighten this out. A nice bright note is Dijon mustard. I'm adding just a little bit of Dijon to this. I'm going to add, to help bring this together as well. Remember, I don't want to mix it too much. I'm going to add a little bit of egg. Because of the recipe, I'm only going to add like a quarter of an egg because I'm making a smaller amount for you. I'm also going to add in here just a drop of cream as well. And then I'm going to add a little bit of chopped parsley and a little bit of cilantro as well. So now what I want to do is I want to take this and I want to just fold it. I want to fold the ingredients in, not mixing it too much. I'm just trying to turn it over and then turn it over. A little trick would be, I would taste the recipe before you add the egg to it, just to ensure that you got proper salt and pepper. So what I'm going to also do is I got a little bit of grated Yukon Gold potatoes. I'm just going to then, they've already been warmed. I did it in a little bit. I boiled them, peeled them, grated them, and then I put just a little bit of butter on it. And what this is going to do is just going to help to give this a little bit more body. And I'm going to tell you, this is really incredible when it gets baked. So you have several ways to serve it. You could do it in a ramekin. You could do it in a nice small cast iron, which I have here. And all I'm going to do is just fill this cast iron. Like so. This is also a really good, this filling would be really great served in an hors d'oeuvre style as well, but it can also be served in an entree setting as well. What I have here is I have a little bit of puff pastry, the puff pastry from Pepperidge Farm, and all I did was cut it into the size I need. The good thing about the Pepperidge Farm, these come in half sheets, or you can also get 5 by 5 squares. I'm choosing to use the half sheet, which I cut down, and all I did was just roll it out slightly, and I brushed it with egg ahead of time. I kept it in the refrigerator till it was time to use, pretty much. And all I did was just drape this over the cast iron. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press it on the edges of it just to get it to seal. And if you can, I would also recommend putting this back in the fridge. I'm just going to cut off any of the excess right here. I would say put this back in the fridge for about 10 minutes if you can. And the reason you want to do that is you just want to have the puff pastry firm back up slightly before you bake it. And just make sure you seal the edges really, really well. So everything sort of like steams and it's a nice little blanket over it. And when you get it, this is what it can look like when you're putting it in the oven. I have a little bit different one here for you. What I have here is the same. It's the same. I just did it in a round cast iron. But what it does is it's flaky, it's golden brown, and it's got really, really good flavor and depth. And as you can see, we've taken you through 3 SKUs within Campbell's Foodservice. And one that people tend to forget about a lot is our puff pastry or our Pepperidge Farm baking line. And this is, again, a very versatile. Another great thing you can do with this is you can actually turn this into a turnover, where you can actually have that same 5x5 square and put the filling in the middle and just fold it over and bake it like you would do a turnover. And it's a great afternoon snack or dinner as well. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Just to recap, I'll just bring everything forward. We did a really nice ethnic dish, which was the chicken korma. Then we focused on some plant-forward, plant-based, with a cauliflower, chickpea, and red curry stir-fry with basmati rice. And then we rounded it out with the Pepperidge Farm puff pastry with the salmon tortilla. And it is, this is a great bakeable dish. So here you have it, 3 great SKUs, 3 really nice, versatile ways that you can showcase this on your menu. And thank you very much.
Amazing. Chef, can I ask you a question about the Pepperidge Farms puff pastry? Does it contain any milk ingredients?
No, this one does not. This puff pastry, where most puff pastries does have butter in it, this one is not done with butter, but it still has the great characteristics of puff pastry.
And it's also kosher, which is a bonus if there's any homes looking for kosher certified products.
Absolutely. We're hearing of that all the time, the need for that. And also wondering, I mean, if you were to make your own puff pastry, how much work would that be?
How much work? Let me tell you, the work. First of all, this counter would be completely filled with flour. I would be covered in flour. Puff pastry is great to make it homemade or by scratch, but it is very labor intensive. And if it's something you would love to do, I would never discourage people from doing it, but it is a lot of labor and it does take a lot of time. Where with our puff pastry, you're going to get the same exact results, but it's just going to be a lot more handy for you. And that way you can take what you need and just pull from the freezer as you need it.
Excellent.
Well, thank you so much for having us on today's show. I just wanted to mention that all 3 of the recipes that we featured are available in the Synergy system. So if you're looking to add these to your healthcare and senior living menus, you can find the recipes there. Thanks so much, Sarah and Christine, and thanks, Chef Gerald, for your help.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you for having us.
Thank you, Jaclyn and Chef Gerald and Sarah. Thank you for sharing these great recipes with us. They were amazing. We will be taking a short break on the Sysco Virtual Kitchen Healthcare and Senior Living Edition for the remainder of this month. But please do check back in the new year, as we will have a brand new lineup starting in January. Thank you to everyone that joined us live on the show this morning. Have a great day.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.